and here I am going to tell about application security. First, before going to security of the application, everyone going through applications, day-to-day life, apps, websites, APIs, everything like that, which are helpful through web server. And there are applications inside local also. These are the main type of applications in day-to-day world. Here I'm going to specifically focus on web applications and how they are securing security related issues, how to secure them, how to protect them and prevent them from any unhappening. This is our main motive today. Here, why web application first before going to that. Web applications are front end of any organization or any ministry or any application nowadays to reach to end user or entire remote persons also. Phones are available, they can able to view through browsers. The web application is a software that runs on web server, unlike computer based software programs which are run locally. Web applications can be used by web browser. Everyone able to use a web browser. Those are web browsers are available in laptops as well as systems as well as in phones also. So this is very convenient way to reach to any individual from your organization to any data you want to share to any publicly, locally, securely also you can share it. This is the main purpose of websites. Now, how do you secure your application? Why we need it? Nowadays, I have told about the presence of the internet, which provides the websites, intranet and intranet. Both are available so that you can manage your day-to-day applications like e-office. Someone complaining about voice is not coming. Uh, I hope my voice is clear. Can you confirm any person? Okay, fine. Thank you. Next. Okay. Now, here is a vulnerability. Recently, we have a session about network, about how the systems are getting hacked in network environment. Now, I am going to explain how it is going to be probability using a vulnerability in our systems to hack. Web applications are publicly available. In network, your organization have local network and you have to secure it locally. But in terms of web application, this is your main service which is reaching to every public citizen or public person, where how you will protect your application to get not to hack. So vulnerabilities are the main reasons in any system to get hacked. So how to identify vulnerability, that I will explain later. And here is the vulnerability is a weakness in an application. If you have a weak point in your application, everyone attack that weak point to get information or defacement of applications, defacement of website like that. And now using vulnerability, are you able to exploit or not? It is also a main matter. Why? Because sometimes you have to prioritize your vulnerabilities. In software, there are multiple vulnerabilities rises daily. Because software testing takes time, it gives application based on how many roles are there, how many systems are there, how many pages are there. Like that, you have to test each and every page to find how many vulnerabilities are there in each and every page, or by combining the pages, are there any vulnerabilities. This is the way to identify vulnerabilities. During the course of time, you will find little bit vulnerabilities because there are so many changes happening in the code also. So using that vulnerability, are you able to exploit the application? This is also need to be decided. Now this is the main actual posture of the application. Network firewalls will be there, IPS, IDS systems are there, and still antivirus is in host. After that, the web application is the main matter. But web application is crossing all these network firewall and everything and reaching to the public. How to protect that? Because it is publicly available to everyone. That is called application layer attacks. Here I am going to explain how website is usually placed in any data center usually. That is the main strategy decision in any data center. In our data center, we are putting a firewall. After that firewall, application servers, web servers are hosted. Over that application server, you are hosting custom code or your application code where it is connecting to databases. The database is, we also have another firewall in different data center have different strategies for this. Again, it is communicating to database. This database connection gives any data required for application. This is the way. Now attacker is coming or public user is coming. What public user came? The application has a login form. The login form is used and he opened the page with account and these things. Now what attacker is trying to do is he is going to intercept or put a special request, crafted request, which consisting of these special characters. These special characters, I will explain this one. The HTTP request sent to the application server. What application server does, it sends to the database. This is the actual practice. The database has some interpreter or any method to parse the request. The parsing mechanism at database performs different ways. If you are sending this as a data, it parses differently. If you send this single quote R1 equal to 1 is considered as a data R value. There is a slight difference between data and value. If it is data, then the database parses this data as a command. If you send this as a query or value, the value is considered as a whole single item. Here it is not considered as a single item. We will see this. And then whenever you send this one, the SQL query sent to the database. The SQL query is parsed as, if anyone know little bit knowledge of database query, this is executing a true always. Why? Because R command executes 1 equals to 1. That means it is always true. So what will be the expectation from the input is select star from accounts where account IDs. So it is displaying entire account list of the entire table. That is the actual function it is executing by database. Now DB table, entire table went to the application and it get displayed to the application attacker. So what happens here is the attacker is tricking the database interpreter to execute the command because the application is vulnerable and not parsing the data before sending to the database. So here there is no proper validation and verification done by the application. This is the main problem. If you are going to stop these type of attacks, you should have a application level firewalls, or you have to code securely application. And then here is the insecure applications, insecure design. So you know everyone, I think SDLC process, in that you are going for a designing, coding, and testing, and review the application. This is the process. What happens in insecure design itself? If you are designing the application in insecurely manner, then it becomes very difficult after identifying the issues, because the cost of the fixing vulnerabilities in designing phase and after production phase is very costly. And insecure coding, if your coding practices are not perfect or securely not following the how to fix the SQL injection vulnerabilities, if you plan it in the starting phases itself, then it reduces the cost of the fixings. And also, everyone should adhere to their organization policy, how to code. In ministry, we have a GIGW guidelines, how to write a secure software guidelines, and security guidelines are mentioned in SAT also. But in practice, what happens? There are multiple applications, CMSs. There are different types of frameworks, different programming languages. They should also follow those guidelines so that those applications will be secure. Consider you have a latest Drupal application. How you will secure it? After 1 to 2 months, if there is a critical vulnerability release, that becomes a vulnerability patch. It is not in Drupal application phase. So how to protect them? That is also phased managed decision need to be done at organization level itself. And legacy applications. You have an application very old and written. Nowadays, no one wants to rewrite those applications. How to secure those applications? Those are exist in our infrastructure also, because those were not untouched since a long time. And insecure infrastructure, unpatched OS. And OS, a web server and websites are closely related to secure the application. Consider a scenario where web servers are vulnerable and application is protected. The attacker directly attacks the web server instead of the application itself. So the application get issues. And lack of hardening and version controls. This is a main critical phase for any organization internally secure their servers. If your servers are not up to date or patched, the applications may get hacked also. And changing technology. The applications are changing over the time and the developers are up to date and updating their software. You have to adhere to the latest technologies so that the information will be displayed securely also. Okay, these are the common vulnerabilities in our web applications we daily encounter in auditing and penetration testing processes. Cross-site scripting. Here in cross-site scripting, the verification process is not properly followed while displaying to the user and storing in databases. What happens is the end user is inserting HTML commands or any JavaScript commands to execute at server level or at client level. What happens here is the clients may get hacked or servers also prone to water holing attacks. What is water holing attack is the servers will hold persistently the malicious link to serve to the client users. Whoever visits that website, they may get hacked or they are serving to any mining crypto miners like that. And SQL injection flaws. I would say injection flaws here. There are multiple injection flaws. SQL injections are there and LDAP injections, XPath injections are there. What happens in here is the interpreter is parsing the actual input in a way that the crafted input get executed by the interpreter, the data leakage, and it may also happens that hack the entire server using if it is allowed for permissions of file permissions like that. Malicious file executions. In malicious file executions, even after upload, if the server is truly hardened, the file permissions are hardened, then the file cannot be executed. If the file permissions are not proper, The file may execute with the permission of the web server. It causes damage to the server. Next, insecure redirect objections. What happens here is the malicious user tricking the end user to move it to any other location. Consider you are moving to the from normal user to a admin privileged user. This is also a possibility if it is directly referenced from one role to another role. And next level in this also, it is redirecting to the end user by any malicious website. This causes issues. Cross-site request forgery. Every page should have a one dynamic key so that it will be serving proper to the end user. What happens here is HTTP doesn't maintain state of the user. It needs some key so that it will maintain the state of the user. So we have to generate each and every page with new key so that it serves properly to the exact user. Information leakage and improper handling. Errors in the system are mostly ignored by any developer. These are the main concerns for attackers. They have to take the advantage of this improper handling mechanism so that they can leak the server information. After that, they use this as information for attacking the systems. And broken authentication and session management. What is authentication here? First, authentication, you are giving credentials and then you are going for a particular page. If that authentication session key is directly accessible by any user, they can directly access. To stop that, you need one more dynamic key, that is cross-site request forgery and cookies. If it is not properly maintained, it is easily broken. There is no need of authentication. If somebody log into the system, if you are able to get the session token of that, then it is easily able to evade the process. So you should maintain proper authentication and session management. Insecure cryptographic storage. Most of the time we are getting issues of database. Is it required to store cryptographically? We will say it should be required. Why? Because if you are sending a cryptographic storage, even the attacker able to reach the storage, he can able to files only. What happens later? He has to decrypt entire system by keys. That takes long time. So we have to use secure cryptographic algorithms to store our entire data and should be encrypted at all levels. Insecure communications. How the client and server communicate. There is a question, HTTP versus HTTPS. Is HTTPS required? We will say HTTPS is much required in terms of privacy as well as to stop these type of transport layer attacks. If you don't have a HTTPS communication, the attacker able to see entire communication as told earlier in the last previous session, promiscuous mode. Promiscuous mode helps the entire network traffic to capture or to see what it is there. Failure to restrict URL access. Consider you have a proper authentication. There is a question query. Let me see that query. After HTTPS is also attacker can attack by Dr. S.K. Roy sir. The question here is HTTPS is also attacked sir, but the communications are safe. They can attack very much, but not directly on HTTPS because if you are traversing with secure mechanism, it is increasing one more layer to secure your application. There is no 100% security in anywhere. If you are increasing number of layers, we are putting so much difficult to the attacker not to attack our system. This is one more strategy to stop attacks. Failure to restrict URL access. After authentication, what happens is you are able to access the authenticated portion. Consider if the authenticated portion do not have a mechanism for verifying the session token itself. The entire page is accessible to every user if he knows only that page directly. Direct access can be done. Okay, and one more query. There is one more query. One sec. Some antivirus software gives secured browser. How does that work? So antivirus softwares give secure browser and they have a DNS mechanism, and if you are typing any URL, they are analyzing it before sending to any DNS or anywhere, so that they have a IP reputation mechanism, URL verification mechanism, and they will also assess what type of application it is. Already that knowledge is with them, with the antivirus team. They can able to tell this type of application is safe to host, safe to browse, not safe to browse. Consider if you are going to a hacking site. Recently Nmap is blocked by Google as stating that this is a insecure software for downloading. But it is a software with a it is a software for security personals, but not for a normal user. You have to decide which type of software you are going to browse, which type of page you have to browse. That awareness program will help you not to fall into a attacker's motives. An application security mechanism under SAST. Here I would say we have to follow application to secure it. SAST dashed penetration testing WAF. What it is SAST, static analysis of static application security testing. Here the code is tested with the certain rule sets. Consider you have an application for authentication. You need to verify particular variable before sending to the database. That is the rule set. How you will verify? The tool will parse the entire program of written code and it will verify is it parsing and sending to the data to the database securely or not. Are you validating the given input by the end user properly or not? Also, it tries to do certain mechanism for identifying privilege escalations also. And next one is dynamic application security testing. In dynamic application security testing, also called black box testing, it is type of testing the end user don't know anything about the system. They directly test your application with the application knowledge only. He will go and input certain details based on this, and he enters like authentication. He enters the details and tries to find is there any vulnerability. Likewise, and there are multiple tools to perform SAST and DAST application. Those tools I will explain later. And penetration testing. Why we need penetration testing? After the application hosted, the penetration testing team will assess the application. Is it vulnerable in production or not? Because before auditing application, you can very much perform all the activities. After hosting, you have to sure that public team should not report, as well as it should not get hacked. That is the main motive. And also you have to close coordinate with SOC teams and all these for any attacks. That is network layer attacks. And WAF team. WAF team, what does it? Tries to prevent if there is an attack on our machine directly. Consider you have a SQL injection vulnerability. The attacker is trying to attack through WAF and the application is behind WAF. What happens? WAF does web application firewall is the WAF term, sir. Okay, and here WAF does the activity of stopping application layer attacks. It very much performs SQL injection stopping and XSS stopping and the common vulnerabilities which are reported earlier all were stopped by WAF. And you have to configure the WAF. WAF need to be configured properly with the certain rule sets. Is there any way the attack is bypassing that need to be analyzed continuously and monitored? It is recommended. If there is an attack and passing through WAF, they can prepare very easily the keys where to stop the attack by using certain methods of preparing signatures or preparing any particular codes, how to stop that particular attacks. And there is a question about WAF. Is it require continuous monitoring? So WAF requires also continuous monitoring and the status and all the WAF devices or WAF software that need to be continuously monitored. Why? Because if there is an attack on WAF itself, you have to analyze these things. So this requires continuous monitoring of devices as well as systems of applications. Are those working? And also you can get a proper details about the web applications which are running behind WAF are running properly or not. I am coming to SAST tools and DAST tools in next slide, sir. There is a question about this. And here I'm going to explain about best practices to build secure applications. Okay, before going some rules about practices of securing applications. First recommendation usually is OWASP. Everyone know OWASP, or I can explain again. Open Web Application Security Project. Under Open Web Application Security Project, the team does to identify what are the top 10 vulnerabilities over the time to identify, and those need to be fixed for green internet purpose. So every website tries to accommodate to strengthen their web application and free from Open Web Application Security Project top 10. These top 10 are created 4 to 5 times till now. Those are consisting of SQL injections is always top in that list. Why? Because the application coders are still following less security practices for securing their application. And next one is cross-site scripting. That is also exist over the time. So every time any input given to the application, that should be processed for verification, validation by the program. This is a golden thumb rule. And then they should also process their web applications as per the certain mPanel guidelines and auditors, so that we have to ensure that hosting the application is safe. Implement proper logging. Okay, this is not about securing your application, but this is also gives you insights about are there any breaches happening in your applications. Those type of details are very much helpful for a SOC team and all other groups. Consider you have to find an incident. How to find it? You need a log. There are multiple types of logs available in web applications. There are one thing is SSH log for a particular server, application log, that is audit trail log. Are there any changes happened in the over the time? That type of log, and then access logs, error logs, debug logs. These type of logs helps the team for identifying is there any vulnerability exist and creating errors in the application, or it is hacked already, or data leaking. This type of information very much available. And we have good applications of Drupal, more number of applications. Under Drupal, there is a watchdog table that gives us more information about application. If anything happened to the application, any login happens. We have used that type of analysis, very easily found there is a hack in the application. So that the Drupal is found with vulnerability, this is happened. So we can go further upgrading or updating or hosting application securely. This type of measures can be taken based on the logging. And apart from logging, the SOC teams are available to find and real-time security monitoring. WAF teams are there. They are also monitoring the application. Apart from that, also the users need to perform periodic checking of their code as well as their server where the application is hosted. In real world, everything should be encrypted for transport layer protection. You should not trust even a local intranet also. That is very much required because insider threat programs may be helpful to identify those type of activities. Servers should be hardened properly. We may recommend use VA tools for identifying hardening server, as well as there are security guidelines by NIST. For NIST CDAC also there, and in NIC we also published for in NIC personals only how to secure the servers, those guidelines and tools also available based on the guidelines implemented. Here we are going to explain little bit more about SAST. SAST helps you analyze the code before going to production itself. That is a good practice. But in production, certain projects require production hosting directly. Why? Because they are implemented like a pilot projects, mission mode projects. Those require coding. So SAST plugins are available. There are multiple plugins for SAST, also F45 and AppScan providing plugins for a consider you have a Visual Studio. There is a plugin. They need to install that plugin. It integrates with the Visual Studio program and gives you program directly inside of a console itself. Are there any issues? Those can be very much used before submitting for auditing or submitting the code to production. Here, the advantages are integrated with IDE. Bugs are found in early SDLC. As I told earlier, if you found the issues in SDLC process or coding phase itself, the cost is very much less for fixing the issues. And complete consistent coverage of entire application is performed at developer level itself. If you submit an application for an end user, they will analyze the code and give you report, big report. But if it is performed at a developer phase itself, it is a unit testing where you can perform the developer identifies the issues and fix the issues, clears the issues there itself. So it takes very less time to host the application. And if the developer do not have a knowledge of security also, this type of tools helps the developer what type of activity or what type of patch need to be implemented at coding level. This is helping. And next one is test. There are tools for automated scanners, and in NIC we are performing manual testing also before hosting any application as per the audit procedures. In manual testing, what happens is we are testing 3 to 4 levels of roles for identifying are there any issues with the sessions and any privilege escalations able to happen, any missing portions by tool that will be identified very easily. Tools are not completely identifying the all the vulnerabilities that we found it, but it helps the end user to get the report early. The number of vulnerabilities fixable by the developer is very easy using tools. And these are the differences between SAST and DAST. This is a type of testing represents the developer approach. Dynamic testing is a tester approach actually. And here the difference is the actual tester tries to identify performance testings, are there any issues? These are the main testing done by actual tester. In security testing, the security focus for the application will be identified. I will give you one debate topic is the tester has to test the entire application of payment gateway. If the payment gateway have a issue with the changing of amount during the updating and payment time, is it security testing issue or actual tester issue? That is a debatable topic. Consider if it is an application is designed for financial, the malicious user or normal user able to change the amount in the application. What happens? This is security testing issue as well as normal testing issue. We have to consider based on the issue, how much is the severity. Okay, in DAST, this testing approach represents the hacker's approach also. And in SAST, if you see, the code is verified in before runtime itself. The parser of a tool performs the parsing of an entire code and analyzes the code. Here in DAST, everything is executed and giving you data. And SAST identify in SDLC process itself, but in DAST, you are going after completion of the code, you are submitting for testing. The two phases are increased for DAST. That is the third phase. Less expensive to fix in SAST process. It is performed everything by developer. Developer identifies it and fix it. But if you are going for an attacker or an end user, he is trying to identify by hitting so many number of data items and data elements to come to some conclusion there is a vulnerability. It takes lot of time. In SAST, you can identify normal vulnerabilities like XSS, SQL injection, and overflow vulnerabilities. In DAST process, you need to gather entire information about the system, and then you are going after information gathering phase, you are going to identify is there any vulnerabilities, and then you are attacking the system to identify are there any vulnerabilities. This is the actual process. But in practice and methodology, pragmatic methodology, we need both SAST and DAST, as well as PT is required to ensure our systems are foolproof to not get hacked. And this is the actual SDLC process. Here we are adding secure SDLC. To add every phase, secure design, secure coding, secure testing, security review, and then penetration testing is required for entire life cycle from the starting phase of a website to end and production environment. Here in design, you have to find elements what are required for securing. You need to implement security controls also. After that, those need to be coded properly. The security testing team performs testing as well as review. So here the best rule is input validation. I would say verification and validation. Verification also matters in so many ways. And data validation mechanism must be present on trusted systems. If you want to trust any system, you have to validate any input from the external sources. We recommend you should have a proper centralized library where you can import those validation process for any input that you are going to apply. Data validation should occur in server side only. In nowadays, we have identified there is so much JavaScript and putting it to the end user. Still the JavaScript validates at client end, but crafted data is sent to the server. What happens there is no JavaScript. JavaScript role is ended at client side, but the crafted script is going to the server. Server should validate the entire inputs. and the session management. The authenticated portion should be protected from the attackers if you maintain proper session after the authentications, and authorization also a matter. The user is allowed for authentication, but some of the processes require authorization. What authorization does is the end user or developer or role, they will define the roles for everyone. What are the particular type of operations allowed for each and every role? Those need to be defined before going there. If the roles are defined, if the developer is going to access the admin role, it is not allowed. So you have to stop that user to do that process. That is authorization. He should have a privilege to get perform any activity with authorized permissions only. And there is a session fixation issues. Usually what happens is authentication is performing and you are going to generate the session key in the starting phase itself. Key is not generated after authentication is successful. The session key should be regenerated. If you are using a old session key itself, it may be a normal key, but after session is authenticated, you should regenerate the entire session IDs so that it can be secured till logout. After logout, you have to destroy the entire session also. And then caching. Caching is a process. It is stored at client side. You are storing the content at the client side so that your application runs smoothly if the required JPG files and all these inputs are there. If you are storing data, that causes issues. If you are storing unauthenticated portion, it is fine. If you are storing authenticated portion, that causes issues. If anyone able to access that machine, which is a system machine, office machine, or desktop machine, or internet machine, we cannot judge it is hacked from there or leaked from there. Also, you have to secure the web server, harden the web server. If you harden the web server, HTTP only tags automatically comes. That will secure the sessions also. Remove all attributes and invalidate session at logout. We are saying destroy entire session, again regenerate the new session after logout. Sensitive data exposure. If the traffic is in HTTP, if the attacker able to intercept your traffic, the entire traffic can be given or leaked by attacker. This is one thing. So we recommend transport layer security with HTTPS, and also you have to use hardened ciphers must. There are ciphers, RC4 ciphers, those are easily breakable. You have to use ECDHE ciphers with GCM. We recommend with the highest level of key length. Directory and file accessible as URL. Okay, we will say directory indexing. Your entire server is displayed as a directory in a file explorer type. That causes issues to the application. Why? Because you are disclosing entire application with a PDF, JPG files, as well as admin portions. Those URLs all are linked. Use of old outdated algorithms or weak encryption to protect sensitive information. In authenticated portion, the client need to send the data to the server in encrypted way. If the system is using only MD5, it is actually outdated. In current scenario, we recommend SHA-256 or SHA-512 so that the system will encrypt the entire data. That to salted hash. We will say use one more key from the server that will be shared to the client. After that, you have to encrypt it. We'll say hashing there also for a protection, and your entire network should be encrypted. Here, the example of sensitive exposure I will show you. there are tools which can fingerprint the entire website if it is leaking. This is one of the website. Is this screenshot taken from Wapalizer? After browsing the web page, we can able to identify this much information about the website. What happens here? Consider this is a WordPress website, but it is not. Screenshot is there. The blogs are there as well as fully WordPress website. If the WordPress version is you are able to identify, or Apache version is able to identify. In near future, if there is a vulnerability in Apache or WordPress, the attacker tries to perform that exploit or brute forcing of WordPress usernames. Those are the very prominent vulnerabilities identified in WordPress. Brute forcing of users. Still, you can identify using WP scan is there, which identifies the WordPress scanning and WordPress users. Are there any vulnerable plugins? You can very much identify those details from the server and attack if it is successfully hackable, that causes so much issues to the application. So always hide your information from the public portals and safeguard your application without leaking this information. And one more thing, as I told earlier about error vulnerability. Error, what happens is, which is leaking about the software. Where is the error? Here, if you see, the error is occurred. It is telling there is a application software web server Apache 2.4.33 and OpenSSL and 5. PHP version. There is an object injection vulnerability in PHP. This is very much possible if it is object is used in PHP application of this server. So we have to be careful before leaking of any information and should be ready to face the attacks also. This process can be very much strengthened by performing auditing and penetration testing process. And how you will prevent? Always use encryptions, disable autocomplete, auto caching, as well as you have to verify, validate your entire inputs. And apart from this, I would recommend always update in local system before going to production. Update local system and test it there before going to production. Vulnerable known components. As I told in the screenshot, there are vulnerable components Apache 2.4. If it is lower in near future, it may be reduced. And if there is a vulnerability in WordPress application, that application has a vulnerability of users leakage. Using WP scan, it is found. The same thing it is happening. And DBMS application, which is very much MySQL is there in that screenshot, where it is found that the lower version of MySQL, it is also prone to particular vulnerabilities. And there are multiple vulnerabilities in particular web infrastructure, application, and server. If three were combined, there may be a multiple vulnerabilities identified. We have to tackle them, harden them, so that the application is secure. How to fix non-component vulnerabilities? We recommend always update your software to the latest. This is the thumb rule. And this CVE NVD provides each version information in a presentable manner, as well as which has a database of vulnerability list. You can very much search. This is a CVE means common vulnerability enumeration. There is a CPE for each software ID, common platform enumeration. For each common platform enumeration, National Vulnerability Database NVD is maintaining all CVEs. There is CWE also there, common weakness enumeration. If injection is possible, we can say SQL injection, but not a particular platform, we can assign CWE. So you have to check CVEs so that the CVEs can be fixed for each platform installed on your machine. File upload vulnerability. Under file upload vulnerability, if the file is uploadable, it is required, very much required in any complaint platform, feedback platform, and to registration platforms. If the file is not properly secured, what happens is the end user uploads the file, which is a shell file consider. That file will be retrieved and the shell can able to execute anywhere on the system, and it also causes damaging other systems also, because the shell privileges is based on the server hardening privileges given to the application. So you have to find, is there any shell file? This is very much deleted using antivirus software if it is known. If it is unknown, what happens? So the attack is successful by the end user. And also one more thing is, some of the developers or administrators perform disabling antivirus in their server and making the servers vulnerable and susceptible to any. You have to be careful. Never stop antivirus on the server. They directly conclude that the server is stopped because server antivirus is stopped because it is slowing the system, but it is also making a system very vulnerable. You have to find a way if it is required or not, or how much is secured. Are there any tools which is stopping attack in between? If it is internally stopped, this is also main matter. If it is internally secured or not. If it is internally not secured, you have to rely on host-based endpoint solutions. Insufficient logging and monitoring. I told earlier about, if there is a risk that can be very much identified through logging and monitoring of the systems. And you have to create every role for a particular user according to organizational policies, so that these were very much enforced on the server by administrator groups. And while logging, we identified there is so much leakage of usernames and passwords also. Consider in your logging, there are get method and post methods. The website has a get method, post method, put, delete, and as well as debug method is there. Trace tracks are also there, which are used in older ways. Here what happens is, if you are using get method to send the details for username and password, what happens is in your logging access log, I am telling, in your access logging, it is directly kept it. The entire URL path is kept under URI path, including username and password. If there is a credit card, it is also stored. If your system is used by any malicious user, internal employee, they can very much extract the entire information about the logging credentials, everything. We have to be careful what to be kept in the logging or not. And this is the audit process flow in NIC we are following currently. First, the end user sends an intimation to us to create a request for perform auditing. The SEA team, what you say, source code analyzer or SAST team, performs the analysis of entire source code, which is submitted in a secured way, and then it is sent to the black box team. The black box team performs, black box or dash team performs testing, manual audit, as well as tool-based audit. First, it is performed tool-based audit and it sends a request back to the user to fix the issues, and the manual team will take up after fixing those issues, and it will dig for critically any vulnerabilities as well as process flows also. After that, the certification will be given, but this certification, if it is done by certain empanel auditor, certification will be given with a certificate of clearing, which is very much used for Aadhaar database as well as other certifications usage by CDAC. Aadhaar is providing. white box auditing. In the white box auditing, we are using tools HP45, and AppScan tool is also there. AppScan source code analyzer or HP is using right now. These tools very much is. How can I assure him or her that some payment website is secured? Sir, this is a payment gateway is secure is based on the certifications under them. If you go for any bank, they were certified with a multiple certification list, and they're using 128 256 bit encryptions for sending the details from your website to the server. So it is secure. Your application is using locally HTTPS, and your server is sending back the details to the website or bank application. So it has to be secure there. And then under black box testing, I would say here roadblocks are we need a more number of source codes that need to be securely given to us, and there are multiple images, videos, which gives more timing. And black box testing, under black box testing, we have to test multiple authentication systems, and also there are issues with SMS and all these. In production, we can give SMS for payment and all this, but in auditing phase, we cannot use directly SMS mechanism, because if it generates more number of SMSs, that may cause the application owner. And under black box, there is one more functionality box. Some may not be revealed only in actual process is implemented in production. That may be also another issue that can be identified in penetration testing process. And why we need to do manual testing is manual auditors identify certain issues in the HTTP crafted mechanisms and also published way of vulnerabilities using crafted methodologies. So this is cannot be performed by automated tools. Under manual testing, same issues. Email and SMS features may not be applicable all the time, because it may be a spam mails or spam SMSs can cause issues. And staging URLs updated at the time of audit. Consider the patch is going prepared by the end user. You are continuously updating the system that may disrupt the manual auditing processes. So we have to ensure before hosting all your applications are perform as per your desired processes, as well as the server also should be properly hosted and hardened for production capabilities. After production is the web application, we recommend penetration testing to ensure the application is free from vulnerabilities in multiple ways. We have to test the application in operating system level, web server level, is there CMS level, we have to test the CMS also, and database level also we are testing. The compatible version control testing is depends on the developer how they want to implement it. And after that, how you are finding vulnerabilities and how to stop zero-day vulnerabilities. This is the question. The WAF application, web application firewall, performs identifying the issues in each and every application, and if any attack is happening, and if you have an integrated application scanner with the WAF, that will very much identify very easily, and also creates a signature automatically to the WAF, so that okay, sir asking about previous slide. Okay, here under penetration testing, we are testing a application after hosting the application. So here in production environment, you have to test the application to ensure there is no vulnerabilities in the current existing public system. So that what happens is, here the process is same. You are identifying vulnerability, is it exploitable or not, but everything is under production. If there is a disruption in the system, you have to ensure that the contacts of the system owner, everything is available to restore back. That is one more thing. And vulnerabilities in any architecture, OS, web server, we have to find so that the application will be patched. Consider there is a open vulnerability in any Drupal of installed production system. You can identify very much in NVD database so that we can recommend directly by penetration tester testing application. Is it vulnerable? And then if it is vulnerable, it will be reported to the end user to fix the issue, to the end developer to fix the issues. Here, virtual patching. If there is a vulnerability in any CMS, there is no patch currently. How to protect it? This is one way or workaround. If there is a WAF between the end user as well as between the web application, the WAF system will stop the attack before attacking or reaching to the server. So the attack is dropped before reaching to the server and there is no harm for the web application. So it continuously serves all the users. So this is the way the virtual patch is prepared by WAF and stops the attacks. And it also stops certain types of signatures based on the issues. There is a question on this. VP Pro is automatic. Yes, sir. The virtual patching process is, if it is the WAF is there, it is automatic process, and the virtual patching will be done by WAF administrator based on the attack category. If there is more attacks and if it is bypassed, they can create signatures again for those. Mostly it is automatic process in NIC, and we have pre-configured after testing so many number of tools, scanners. We have a one more system, the dummy systems we will say, testing systems. We attack those systems with the scanners and manual testers so that we are stopping it by using a WAF to ensure that there is no attack on other machines. Okay, I analyzed, and WAF works on layer number 7, that is application layer, where our web application is running. It stops SQL injection and normal attack processes. OWASP standards are there. All were stopped. You have any queries? SAST, DAST, WAF, and PT application. And also I'm available, I'm sending to all attendees. My email ID, I have mentioned it in the group. These testing systems are up to date. So we are hosting the application on a random basis and the systems are up to date. I would say software is up to date and applications are up to date, as well as we are identifying how to bypass so many mechanisms, and we are creating systems so many number of times and signatures are created. Also, we in our application systems, I have told about CMSs, platforms, all the things. We are identifying them, and then we identify exploits for each and every one and host those application behind WAF. Also, we tested it and it is successfully stopped by WAF. And you are asking platforms at Dr. S.K. Roy, sir. What is the query? Please, can you explain or elaborate? What is the platform is the question. The platforms are multiple platforms. From my perspective, we are taking multiple